Hey everyone, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be biking on the Calleguas Creek bike path in Camarillo, California. The Calleguas Creek bike path is a 4.7 mile paved trail that is primarily used for walking, running, and road biking and is considered easy. The entrance to the trail is on Upland Road in Camarillo, California, and there is no parking nearby, so you'll need to find a separate lot to park if you don't live nearby or within distance to bike to the entrance. This trail is moderately trafficked all year round, but is primarily used for biking during the summer and spring months. The entire trail runs along Calleguas Creek, which is connected to the Calleguas Creek watershed and later discharges into the Pacific Ocean. Water in this creek is mainly seasonal and only flows after large rainstorms or periods of rain, and it was dry at the time that I went because it is the summer right now. Even though the bed of the creek didn't actually have any water in it, it was full of green vegetation including a lot of bamboo and other shrubs, and it had a nice mountain view over it. Even though this trail is fairly easy and fully paved, especially if you're biking, there are some areas that have shade, but the majority of the trail does not have shade, so I'd recommend coming on a day that is not hot even if it is fully sunny. It's especially nice to come in the evening around sunset, as you'll get great photo opportunities as the sun sets over the mountains in the distance. As I said, this trail starts on Upland Road in Camarillo, California, and the main trail ends at Pleasant Valley Road, but the trail does continue to the right on a shorter paved area into the neighborhood nearby. Especially if you follow the official ending and don't go into the neighborhood at the end of the trail, this trail will take about 1 hour and 30 minutes at a normal road biking speed. Let's get started with this video. This is the entrance to the Calleguas Creek bike path. The map is here, and this sign next to it has some bird species that you can see along the creek, and some of them are seasonal and some of them are here all year round, so look out for those if you want a good photo opportunity or just to see some birds. As you can see, the entire trail is rated as easy because the beginning part and the rest of it is mainly a wide paved trail that is mostly flat except for some small areas where you need to go underneath roads. As you pass the Calleguas Creek, you can stop to see birds on the creek bed as well as bamboo and vegetation below. For the majority of the trail, the Calleguas Creek is on the left side, as well as there being residential areas on the right side, but as you continue along the trail, you'll pass through some industrial areas, but the creek will always be on the left side of the trail. There are some good bird photography and landscape photography areas on this trail, but especially if you're coming in the evening near sunset, there will be a great photo opportunity as the sun sets above the mountains in the distance, as I said in the beginning of the video. If you're planning to run or walk on this trail instead of bike, be aware that the time estimates that I provided at the beginning of the video are for biking, and if you plan to run or walk, it will take much longer than I said. Around the middle part of the trail, when it's still passing through a residential area, I noticed some painted rocks along the side of the trail that had messages on them, which was cool to see. Around this point, even though the trail is still following the creek, it began to pass through some mobile home parks as well as industrial areas on the right side. Okay, so partway into the Calleguas bike trail here, you can see there's the creek on one side, which does not have any water in it right now, and I think it was seasonal all the time anyway, even before a drought in this area. It's mostly just full of sand right now, and across the way there's some trees, mountain views, houses, and on the other side there's not really much to see, just some office parks and industrial areas. So once you're partially down the trail, as you can see here, you have to go underneath this overpass of Flynn Road, and it's quite a large downhill here, so be careful since there's rocks and a fence on either side. But there's a sign here that just says subject to flooding and not really anything else. And even though there isn't any water in this creek at the moment, there's a lot of green vegetation in here, including a lot of bamboo, which rustles in the wind and it almost sounds like water as you're going by. At this point along the trail, you have to pass over a small wooden and metal bridge, but it's very short and the end is concrete. This wasn't important, but there was some really disgusting smelling stagnated water under that bridge, and it appeared to have been sitting there since at least the last rainstorm, since this is a seasonal creek and there's not water in it during the summer on average. Because of the mountains, this part of the trail had especially nice landscape photo opportunities, even if you're not coming at sunset. So as you continue down the bike trail, as you can see here, the right side of the trail continues to just be industrial areas and buildings, but on the left side of the trail, you continue getting a nice view of the creek and all the vegetation in it and the mountains in the distance. Also, this trail is fairly easy if you're planning to do it because the entire thing is paved and there are only some small inclines and declines, but the majority of it is flat concrete. After that point, the industrial areas end as we continue passing along a few buildings and through groves of eucalyptus trees towards the 101 freeway underpass. At this point, you'll come to another underpass which goes under the 101 freeway and back out the other side. Again, there's a large downhill decline here, but it will be flat again on the other side. Be careful at this underpass since it's a very fast and smooth downhill and it's easy to miss people in the dark below. The next section passes through some eucalyptus groves as well as a mobile home park and is one of my favorite parts of the trail because of the trees and shade surrounding at every side. The rest of the trail is mostly only flat concrete as it continues to pass along some mobile home parks and the creek, and the official ending is soon. So this is where it would go under Pleasant Valley Road, but this is the end of the main bike path, and there is a small side bike path that continues into this neighborhood here, but we're not going to be taking that today since we are kind of running out of daylight, and that only leads into the neighborhood. This is the main end of the bike path that doesn't go very much further. As we were heading back, the sun was setting, so this is when some of the main photo opportunities that I mentioned started to appear. So we're coming along the end of the bike trail in the evening here, and I noticed this really nice sunset on the mountains with the moon in the background and all the trees. So if you come here in the evening, this will make a great photo opportunity even in the day, even if there isn't the sunset light. This photo is unedited and was only taken on my GoPro, but it is an example of a sunset photo that you can get in this area at this time. There are some huge clouds of bugs or gnats or something here, so if you're coming through in the evening, be aware of that, and I guess go through them or go around them. I don't know which. Around here, we started to run out of daylight and began to head back to the entrance of the trail, as you've been seeing in the last time-lapse footage. So that is the end of this trail and video for now. That's the end of this video for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon for another video.